welcome back to Our Story Evolves. We have here Tom Kerber, president of Kerber Applied Research. Tom is a creative engineer. So tell us a little bit about how you came about. It was really
when I was a kid doing all sorts of different crazy things, and so I didn't burn the house down or anything else. That was a good thing. Came close, but no, that's been throughout high school. I had my own company at the time. In high school? In high school, yeah.
Wow.
And I would do repair of electronic equipment, and from there I started developing different things people wanted, and launched one of my first products for the rowing industry for the cocks, so they could talk to the whole boat, and on the racing.
My goodness,
so
that's amazing.
Some products that I had got out there and was used in various championships, and so
Wow.
yeah, it was a lot of fun there.
That's
But over the years, I've been now involved in electronic development for 35 years, and I started young, but I kept, that's just how it worked out. Grew up on a farm, and my dad allowed me to do anything under the sun that I wanted to do, almost, in the workshop. So we did different things, and in the last 8 years, it's been involved in more with light technology in the health angle, and one of the first ones, actually going back about 10 years ago, that actually was the precursor to what I'm doing today, is I developed a light that would go into the mouth for a dentist to cure the white filling. And if you've ever seen, they use a blue light, and that blue light is the right wavelength or right color of light to activate the compound, harden the compound. And in the same way, I learned that light can be used for other methods of treatment as well. Wavelengths are very, very important in color. You need a certain color, just like we need this green cloth, and it better not be anything else but green behind us. In the case of with certain drugs and even with the human body, you need a certain color of light to activate something. So vitamin D, to build vitamin D in your body, you need 297 nanometer. It's UVB, ultraviolet B, that activates it. It's not 310, it's not 280, it's 297 nanometers. So it's very specific. It's kind of like if you had a woman that would sing the right note, she can't, until she hits the right note that resonates with the glass, the glass won't break. But the moment she hits that note, it breaks the glass. And in this cancer type treatment, what happens is you use a red color, which is the exact note that shakes up a molecule that's within this drug, and it breaks open and releases an oxygen molecule and a singlet oxygen molecule,
and you use this one primarily for pain control.
The one I'm going to be talking about now, but the red light is mainly with the drug is for cancer. And I injured my back when as a young father, I did something stupid, and as most parents do, and I injured my lower back. And every year, 2 years, I'd go through a spasm where it would be extremely difficult to get around, very, very painful. And I had this built, the biggest, most powerful cancer light that I ever had, where we were putting 500 watts in LEDs in about this area, extremely bright. And I had known that it was possible to use this red light to also, just the red color was the right wavelength to help with pain. And I thought, I have the light, I have pain, let's try it on myself. So I put the light in behind, I could barely get into the chair, and I had computer work I had to do, so I put this powerful light in the chair, and I sat down and I was doing my work on the computer. And about a half an hour later, I got up, and I couldn't believe I could almost touch my toes after being so much pain that there was no way I could before. And I knew that in that realm, you want multiple wavelengths. You want not just one wavelength, you want multiple. And with multiple wavelengths, you can actually improve the performance of returning back to health by having multiple wavelengths of a certain region. But you don't want any wavelengths that produce heat on the skin. On that website, you'll see a device like this. It's called a Genesis light, and it produces a high amount of light, yet there's no heat. Feel that. There's no heat in that beam.
No, there's not.
And normally that type of light would burn your hand that quickly.
Yeah.
And so I scrubbed away all the heat components in the light and that allows you to treat the area that's affected.
And so these can treat any type of pain, muscular pain, or what?
It's amazing how we're finding more and more that it not only helps to significantly reduce the pain, and that may be in one treatment, might be in 20 treatments. It all depends on what the person has gone through. But it also speeds up the healing in the area.
Okay.
So it's a healing promoter, and the energy that comes from a light like this is, I'll just show this one here, but you can see that this light penetrates through your hand, and it's not just the red that you see, but there's a high amount of near infrared that comes off of this device, and near infrared can penetrate really deep in the body. And that's
so it is for alleviating pain and also for healing the cause of the pain.
Right, because we've even seen on cases like where there's been injury, bone injury, where speeding up the healing of the bone restoration process. Even I went to Haiti and we saw it firsthand on burn victims. And the last thing you want on a burn victim is heat or anything. And they were able to have this type of light, an earlier version of this. For that. We did a study where for open wounds that won't heal because of diabetes.
Okay.
You can close down the wound, speed up that recovery time. So this is a different form of the light. Yeah, if you want to just this allows more for a flat area, or so there's different versions of that.
Okay.
Including another device. I'm looking at this being in seniors' homes where they have a lot of problems with their hands, arthritis in the hands, and they can just hold onto the device, and 5-10 minutes they feel they've reduced their pain in that area. There's no ultraviolet in the ray, no harmful rays that are in this beam, so you can hold it right up here and it doesn't damage. I've had actually people with sinus problems, that have seen improvement in their sinus conditions. There was one woman, 8 years of chronic pain. She could not sit down. Mainly it was lower extremities that she had the pain. And she sat in one of my versions. This is not all the versions, or we'd have to fill up this part of the room here. But she had 8 years chronic pain, young mother, several kids, and she couldn't sit down. Without going through the roof. She could lay down, she could stand up, but she couldn't sit. And she sat in my chair, which even doing that was painful in the beginning. And after 20 minutes, she got out of the chair and she said, she was just crying, and she says, "I don't believe this. I have no more pain." I would say most people probably need 5-10 treatments, to see. And how's that feeling, by the way?
Well, it feels very relaxing and soothing, and I also feel waves of energy like throughout my whole back.
Right. It's interesting. Some people describe it as like almost like tingling or worms in there, or there's all sorts of weird descriptions. But basically, the blood flow starts going, the nerves start from being pinched start opening up. And the blood flow gets in there, and the healing process kicks in.
Then the body can do its thing.
That's right.
See how it goes.
But it's not the heat that does it. It's like almost like the photosynthesis that goes on in a tree. But the
heat is so.
Oh, you feel that part too.
Yeah, it's also comforting.
Oh, you're coming over for the.
I want one. No,
but we're going to do that later. Yes.
Yeah.
So in horrible blackout pain, I got in my car and went and sat in his chair. He has a light chair for about 45 minutes. I think I did 3 cycles of 15 minutes, and I had no pain for 3 days.
And what kind of pain was this? Back pain?
I have 3 disc herniations, and I have laxicity in my sacroiliac joint. So I've got pain and inflammation in my hip and low back all the time. And I had not had a break in that pain cycle for so long. Like, my pain would be 4 or 5 out of 10 every day, but can you imagine how much that grates on your nerves and mind to always be in pain? So what happened with the chair is I had no pain for 3 or 4 days. So then Tom was kind enough to lend me a demo light, and I started faithfully using it 3 times a day. That was this light, and I now am a proud owner of one of these lights, and I travel with it. I don't go anywhere without it. I've reduced my medical costs for physiotherapy, acupuncture, chiropractic by 50%
Wow.
by having this light. And I can sit longer, I can drive longer. I'm no longer in that terrible pain because I believe what it's doing is it's breaking the chronic pain cycle. You get a little bit of window where you're not in pain, the body recovers, mentally you recover, you're optimistic, you have hope, psychologically you recover, and so you start feeling like anything is possible. So with this light, I had horrible nerve pain in my face. I was scheduled for a root canal. I couldn't chew. The nerve pain kept me up all night. The doctor gave me antibiotics and painkillers, did nothing, and I just was beside myself, and it was a very costly procedure, over $4,500
Wow.
to have this done. So Tom drove all the way in from Hamilton, lent me this prototype. I used it for 20 minutes. I fell asleep for like 17 hours that night. The next day I did 3 treatments. I did it for 7 days before I saw the endodontist, and the swelling, my face was swollen. I had bleeding gums, I had infection. I quit doing the antibiotics, I quit doing the painkillers, just the light, everything resolved, and I avoided having an expensive root canal. So
Amazing.
the nerve actually regenerated and repaired. I think what happens is it allows your body's natural processes
Yeah, kind
to
of like
kick
it
in.
triggers
Yeah.
that.
It triggers, yeah, it
that the
triggers
natural process,
exactly.
the body's
So-
natural healing
yeah.
ability.
So I've had a very powerful
Wow.
positive.
Well, thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you.
That's amazing.
Okay, so the one is www.kerberlightchair. That points you right away to the light chair, and you can
Okay.
look at the rest of the website if you like, but Kerber Light Chair. The other one is chronicpaintv.com, and you can, on there under e-store, you can find the light unit, this light unit, and otherwise it'd be a case of contacting me directly for this newer version that we've developed. This unit here has FDA approval, Health Canada. This unit will be getting that, and it's like that light on steroids.